Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. It is Monday morning and I got up around 7:15. It's about 8 right now, but I'm about to do a 15-minute morning yoga and a 15-minute little workout video before I get on with my morning. I don't have anything in person today until a 2 p.m. appointment that I'm assisting. I'll probably leave here around 1:15. So in the meantime, I need to get groceries and study for our final on Friday in cardiovascular system. So I will take you through my Monday. Alrighty, we are back from Trader Joe's. I'm gonna do a quick haul. I got kind of random things, just things I'm out of, but some things that I eat on a weekly basis I still have. Kind of a staple for me is chips and guac, and then I also use Chuck and Dave's brand salsa that I get at our Kroger, so just a normal grocery store, and I already have a big container of that. Another thing I like to eat for lunches or dinners is just pasta, so I usually do rigatoni, and then I needed another jar of sauce. I can do anything from like tomato basil, sometimes I do arrabbiata, just kind of depends. And then I love this roasted garlic chicken sausage, either in pasta that I'm making myself, or the arrabbiata frozen bags, or the fried rice bags. And I can't usually resist getting some kind of treat for the week, so I've been switching off between these chocolate covered pretzel slims and then their normal chocolate covered pretzels. But I posted about this on Instagram, and this lemonade with this tea is a really good dupe for a Starbucks refresher. So I'm going to be doing that throughout the week as a little summery, tiny bit caffeinated treat and saving money by not going to Starbucks. Every single day without fail, I start off with toast, and this Tuscan pan is the best bread. It's delicious. And usually with breakfast, I also have fruit, so I got a big thing of strawberries and some watermelon, and then I also kind of snack on that throughout the day. But that's everything I got for groceries for the week, and then I have HelloFresh coming later today also. So we got this chicken with some potatoes and veggies. This one's a little bit healthier. And then I try to do like 1 or 2 healthy-ish meals. This one's also kind of low calorie. It's just a pork bowl. And then this one's more fun. It's a penne chicken pasta with a little lemon flavoring. And then they gave us a little free seltzer in there this week, which was a nice little bonus. Alrighty, I'm actually about to head into school. I'm just wearing some Cherokee scrubs. It's a little bit earlier than I initially said I was gonna go. It's like 12:20 right now, so I'll be there probably like 12:45, and that'll give me a solid hour to study. So I'm ready to go. I already ate lunch, so I figured I'm just gonna head in now and do an hour of cardio studying at the school in one of the little study spaces, just for a change of environment, and that'll keep me more focused because I feel more obligated to be studying when I'm at like an academic space versus just sitting here on my couch. So we're gonna head into school for some studying and assisting, and then we'll be back here probably around 5:30-ish tonight.
What do I have to say to keep you by my side? How to start in a liquefy. Need you here to tell me that I'll be okay. Married one, loving two, and now it's 3 a.m. Thinking what if it's you and me at the end, that maybe we'll be okay.
Alright, I'm back from clinic. I just put together a fake refresher with that tea and some ice and some lemonade. I heated the water and let the tea bag steep like throughout the morning and then put it in the fridge, and then now it was ready for me to drink. But I can quickly recap assisting, and then I'm really just going to study up until Bachelorette at 8. And right now it is almost 5 p.m. So it was a pretty simple procedure. I didn't do too much as the assistant, but I think my main takeaways, again, this was a restoration, a pretty large restoration. So it was very, very back tooth, upper left, and it was a little bit difficult to access. So I got some good tips about accessing and different ways you can retract and different angles you can put the handpiece at. And then this person's restoration had fallen out, and it's been about 2 weeks. There's a lot of food entrapment in there, so they cleaned out all the food, and they already had planned to redo this restoration before it fell out because they knew that there were caries underneath the restoration kind of interproximally. So as expected, there were some caries that they had to drill out as well. Once all the caries were removed, then they went ahead and filled it. We were sort of close to the pulp, but not that close, so we just did a little bit of GI liner, and then we did flowable composite on top of that for a little bit, and then filled the rest of the restoration with normal packable composite, which is like the Filtech is the brand that our school uses. But the reasoning that we used the GI was, again, for the sensitivity a little bit, and then the reason we used flowable next is because it was a hard area to access, like I said, and it was hard to keep it dry, so that just gave it a nice seal right away, and it was really easy to just pack in there. And then they went in with the normal composite and were able to kind of shape up the restoration nicely, and then go ahead and get the occlusion correct. They were using the Garrison system, so something I was already pretty familiar with from SimLab, which was nice. And other than that, it was a very smooth procedure, went very well, and I'm going to spend the rest of the night studying. It's been a minute since I've actually talked to you, so you saw this morning that I went and assisted with grad perio, came back here, and I don't think I really filmed after that. I got in a call with my dad because yesterday night I went and got a new phone. Very exciting. iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's beautiful, I love it, but I had to get in a call with him to get our Verizon like activated, and that pretty much took up my time until about 12:45. And then I did a few assignments, I think. What else did I do? I'm trying to remember everything I did. So I filmed our weekly video for our behavioral science class. This week we had to demonstrate flossing to a patient, and then there's a bunch of associated surveys for when I was the dentist demonstrating it on my roommate, and then when my roommate was demonstrating it on me. So as the patient's perspective, I had to complete some surveys. So I did everything for a behavioral science class and got all that done. I got tomorrow's video posted, and thumbnail and description and ads and everything all placed, so that's ready to go for tomorrow afternoon when it goes up at 10 a.m. every Wednesday, as you're probably used to by now. And I just downloaded some stuff for our treatment planning course. So we have this fake patient profile and case, as well as her health history, and then we need to fill out a treatment plan, and then we're going to go over it, I think, in the next couple class sessions, and then we have to enter it into MiDent Train as part of the assignment that's due next week. So I need to finish this. But another thing I did is helped my sister with some planning. We're gonna go on a family trip over my break in August. I think we're going to Alaska, which is amazing. Just the 4 of us, me, my sister, and my parents. So we're kind of finalizing that and getting our flights together. And then the rest of the night, all I have left to do is study for my exam on Friday. I didn't get a ton of studying done yesterday because the whole phone was a very like impromptu thing that it was actually ready to be picked up that fast. I didn't know that was gonna happen, so it took up most of my evening. So tonight will be mostly the start of my studying other than what I did during the day yesterday and Monday. So I'm gonna go for a quick walk for some exercise. It's a little chilly outside, and then I'm going to make dinner, take a shower, and study cardio up until bedtime. I've been reading this week, which is a little new for me, just as I could kind of get into a big discussion about this, but I don't really want to unload it all here right now. But I kind of figured out that I need some little thing that I do on a regular basis that I can see progression in and like gives me a satisfaction. So for some people that might be like a fitness routine or running, or for me it might be reading. I'm kind of trying to figure that out. I used to feel a lot of that from like YouTube and podcasting and stuff, but lately it's really at the point that I ever saw it going to that I don't have this like strong desire for it to super surpass where it is right now. I still enjoy posting every week and I'm gonna keep up with it, but it's not something that's giving me the same satisfaction that it used to. So I'm trying to come up with some other kind of hobby that isn't necessarily a actual like task or work, because sometimes it's kind of how I view YouTube. I treat it very seriously, I guess you could say, which again, it's not a bad thing. I do still enjoy it, but I don't sit down and get the same kind of satisfaction out of it that I did a year or 2 ago, which is totally fine. But anyways, I picked up reading for the past couple days, so we'll see if I continue that. I'll let you all know in future vlogs, but I definitely set aside some time every night to read right before bed, and that's been really nice. I think letting me fall asleep faster because I'm not on my phone right before bed. But this was a long update, so I will check in with you all probably tomorrow. I will start some more clips. I don't have anything in person tomorrow, which I'm really looking forward to. I just have a treatment planning class, a perio class over Zoom, asynchronous, and then I have a presentation to the D1s about ASDA at noon, and then I'm meeting with my small group just to catch up tomorrow night. So that's kind of the agenda, and I'll talk to you all on Wednesday. Hey, so it is midday right now on Wednesday. I've been up since about 7:30, but I didn't get a ton done. I was just kind of doing random things with Instagram and like scrolling on TikTok, watching YouTube videos, because there wasn't a lot of pressure to do stuff this morning. But now I'm kind of about to get to work, and I have a Zoom call at noon with the new D1s about ASDA, because I'm on the core executive board for that as a lunch and learn coordinator, which I've mentioned before. But the reason I picked up the camera is because I wanted to show you all a little bit of our treatment planning course assignment for the week. So trying to kind of figure out the best way to show you all this, but basically I'm remote desktoping while connected to our school's VPN into a remote desktop of like one of our clinic computers. And then I just clicked on MiDent Train instead of MiDent Live is where actual patient stuff is. MiDent Train is the one I want, and then I'm gonna log into my profile. MiDent is just our school's Axium, so we use Axium for patient information. So where it has us type in that password in clinic, usually you swipe your ID, but you could also type in like your information, and then we just go to our own name. Again, this is Train, so there's no real patient information in here, which is why I'm allowed to show you what's going on. And then EHR, which is the electronic health record. Rolodex is like all of your patients. And then up here you can see things like Scratchpad is a tool that people use to save templates of treatment notes depending on what the treatment is, and then you kind of fill in the specifics for that patient. So that's something really useful in clinic. Another thing is all of these links, so report an injury, incident report form, clinic guidelines, manuals, fee schedules, that's a big one. So like how much is something going to cost for a patient. LexiComp is where all of the drugs are listed and their relationship and significance in dentistry. So that's something we use a lot as well. You can get to the request system from here. which is going to show your cubicle, and you can put in which faculty you want to call over based on like a start check for an appointment, or if you want them to check a procedure step, or if you're trying to check out. And then there's different like restorative faculty, perio faculty, oral medicine, and you kind of request like what kind of faculty you need based on your appointment. So that's also pretty commonly used every single time in clinic. For us, we're going to EHR, like I said, which is where I am now. This is the fake patient's gonna be their chart. So this is what I entered last week during our perio boot camp. I just entered all this information and again, like all fake stuff, so no big deal to show it. And I'm adding a new form. So based on our patient case, which I'll show you in a second, I'm going to be adding a caries risk assessment, which is this one. I'm going to be adding exam findings and health history. So we can start with a caries risk assessment, I suppose, and then it gives you all of these questions that you have to answer. So yes, they do. And then you kind of have to be more specific about it. So they have restorations. I haven't looked yet to see if they have current caries, but I can show you all the case here. I just downloaded everything onto my iPad. So we have this patient, Amy, and you're kind of seeing how they're doing, seeing what the chief concern is. You get their medical history, their blood pressure, anything going on with them there. So we'll be inputting that medical history, clinical images here. So obviously a ton of restorative work already done. And you can see that here also in the radiographs. And this is kind of where we would be looking for active caries. Now looking here, I think that this tooth is definitely suspicious right here, but I'm gonna go over into the actual radiographs and take a peek. So this is, you can tell the upper arch because of the hard palate up there versus the lower arch with the tongue and the soft palate. So the upper arch, and again, this is the patient's opposite side. So this is their right and this is their left, meaning that this is their left canine, which we know is tooth 11. But we're not supposed to be fully diagnosing. We're just supposed to be making our best effort here for assignment number 1. And then we get, again, this fake patient's health history. So you can see asthma, shortness of breath, high blood pressure. They had a heart transplant, so that's like a big significance. And then some more comments from when we were talking to them. So exercise-induced asthma, use albuterol inhaler as needed, nothing else, acid reflux. And when you see the patient for an exam, you still go through all of this in case there's something they left out or they didn't fully describe to you. And again, gonna ask about allergies, and you ask about any other blood or immune system problems. Again, they mentioned the heart transplant already, and then they list out all of the medications they're taking. We would need to know how much of each of these though, because the patient did not specify, so we would have to find out their dosing and whether it's just the typical dose, which we could find on Lexicomp, or if they're doing anything different. And then when we enter it into here, into health history, again, this is caries risk. When we entered into health history, we would have to say, so this is all those questions that I just went through, like heart problems, breathing problems, and you click on it and it expands if they do have any. But then you also go dental history, which is on that this form right here. On this page is all of the dental history. Then you just copy that into here, and then also medications, and then they're alphabetized. So this patient said albuterol, lisinopril, cyclosporin, and prednisone. So I would look all those up, and then I'd have to go into Lexicomp, and let's say again, lisinopril, for example. We would go to L, and then you'd have to say their dose and frequency, their reason for using, and significance to dentistry. And again, this patient didn't give me their information here, but up in the case study part, I can see their dosage because we discussed it with them in this case simulation of an appointment. So I can put that in here, and then I just need to look in Lexicomp if I didn't already remember from my lectures what lisinopril is for. So that's a very broad overview of some of the things I'm going to be inputting for exam findings, series risk assessment, and health history. But as I go through them, I can try to remember to pick up the camera and kind of show you all what it looks like. I don't think I'll film anything else today because these clips in themselves are kind of time consuming and I don't want the vlog to be too long. I'm really just gonna be studying the rest of the day anyways, so I'm gonna work on this, and if anything new comes up that I feel like I could explain, I will make a clip of it. All right, it's been a while since I talked to you guys because there wasn't really anything else to show with the treatment entry stuff. Currently it's about 5:15. I'm just listening through Monday's podcast episode one more time with Dr. Paul Goodman of Dental Nachos, coming up with a description and everything while making HelloFresh dinner tonight. This one's a little more simple and healthy, so it's always good to mix in something healthy. I'm excited for what I'm making tomorrow though. This looks so good. This one is good, but again, not as exciting because it's more healthy, but gonna start preparing that. Since we talked, all I've done is finish that treatment planning assignment, studied for cardio a tiny bit. It is open notes, so that gives me a lot less motivation. And then I went for a walk and edited this podcast, did the intro and outro, which I had to record right now because I do those every single week, like current times, even though the main episodes with guests are recorded in advance. And then I also, the biggest thing was, I guess two more things. I did some emails for ASDA Lunch and Learn coordinations with the Michigan Dental Association, and the other person that we're doing Lunch and Learn with is Tom from Dental Stores. On Monday, July 5th is when that podcast is going up, but he's also going to do a presentation for our ASDA Pre-Dental Club. Anyways, that was something I was doing, was emailing for ASDA events, and also for an AAWD event. We're trying to do some park yoga again, and actually one of the local yoga studios here was willing to teach the session, so we're really excited about that. Shout out to Tiny Buddha. I don't go, but one of our executive board members is a loyal yogi at their studio, so they were willing to put on the event for us. And then aside from emailing for club positions, I also was working for my ASDA position as pre-dental chair. A couple vlogs ago I mentioned the pre-dental event for July 31st, a Saturday. So it's a pre-dental Zoom event, and it's like all morning up until 3:30 p.m. and full of admissions presentations, diversity, equity, and inclusion, digital dentistry, student panel, student presentations, everything, video tour of the school, all the fun things. So again, as soon as that event is approved, I will be posting about it on Instagram and everything so that you all have the opportunity to sign up if you're a prospective and interested pre-dental student and want to learn more about what ASDA does at Michigan and all of those things I just mentioned. But what I was doing for that was some coordination, and then also making these slides for the general flow of the day, as well as a Kahoot that we can hopefully use. Again, all of this stuff is pending approval. I'm waiting on the slides from both of our student speakers that are going to do a day in the life of a D1 and day in the life of a D3 or D4. So once we have all the student presentations as well as the presentations I just made, and now we have the itinerary all together and that Kahoot, once all of that is gathered, then I can send it to the school for approval and then hopefully get the event approved, and then there will be a sign up and an email and graphics and everything so that you all can attend the event if you'd like. But that is everything for right now. I'm gonna make dinner, and then I'm going over to my friend Haley's house with Amanda, and then Bree is the other girl. The four of us are in a small group with Christian Dental Association, so we're just gonna hang out and catch up, so I'm really excited for that. My dinner's finishing up. I also wanted to show you all a couple things I got from Prime Day with Amazon. So you know I got the new iPhone this week, so I needed to get a screen protector. Yeah, I really like the Zag brand here, and then you can get a warranty for it, so like you can get it replaced if it ever does shatter. And then I've really been wanting and needing a power drill, so they were on a good discount, so I figured this was the time to get it. So I just got this Black & Decker one, primarily because things like these shelves up here, they need to be put in with the little like anchors with the screws, and that really does require a power drill. And then for my bed, and I like disassemble it and stuff, it's a lot easier to have a power drill. So it's just like a good life purchase. I think it was like $30 with the sale, so that's good. And then this is the book I mentioned last night. So this is what we're reading for SPDL, Scholars Professional Leadership Development. And then this is the one I'm gonna read at my own pace starting tonight, and then this one I'm reading at the pace of the book club. And that's for the semester for the club, and this is just gonna be for me. So I'm excited about that. And lastly, with Prime Day, I got this matcha green, so light green, neutral colored, pretty thick yoga mat that I'm excited about with a strap. I just wanted to replace mine for one that's a little bit nicer. And honestly, it's gonna be in my room next year, so I wanted something that's more neutral compared to this really thin, bright blue one. Like, just looking in your room, this is much prettier, so I know that's kind of silly, but again, it was a good deal on Prime Day, so I'm going to send that one home. My family can use it, and I will keep this one going forward at school. And I can link all these things below if you're interested in getting them or something similar from Amazon. Hey guys, so it's quite a bit later in the day. You saw some sporadic clips throughout today. I woke up, I think, around 8:30. The gym by me, the campus gym, opens at 9, so I worked out from like 9 to 9:30 and then went for a walk after I got back here around 10:30, studied, ate some food, and then I went to assist from 2 to 5. And the assisting was on 2 kissing lesions, which just means 2 interproximal lesions, so like DO on one tooth, MO on the other, so they're touching. That's all that means. So it was 18 and 19, so I assisted on those restorations, and then I came back here, and it's been about an hour and a half since I've been back. At 6:30 now. I just took a little shower and had some more food for a little snack early dinner situation. I have my iPad charging right here, and I'm going to study the rest of the night. Our exam is 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. tomorrow. It is 40 questions, I believe, or 44 questions in 2 hours, so a lot of time, which I really appreciate. I think we'll need it. It's going to be very case-based, but it is open notes, so I'm hoping that the fact that it's second order case-based questions, having the notes as a reference to kind of start thinking through things will be helpful, but we'll see how it goes. I think I have a B+ in the class right now, so as long as I pass the exam, I'll definitely pass the class, but I'd like to keep some sort of a B in the class, which is why I'm still studying and trying to do well on the exam. I have, I think, 3 of the 7 or 10 lectures left to read, so that's gonna take pretty much the rest of the night, but I just wanted to update you all, and if I remember, I will update you all tomorrow after the exam. And then I have radiology rotation, and then we're going to the Tigers game as a class social. A bunch of people in my class, and then people's significant others, their friends, we're all going down to Detroit and going to see a Tigers game. It's supposed to rain though, so I'm hoping that it doesn't rain too much, or that it doesn't rain at all, because that'll put a little damper on the fun. But either way, I'm looking forward to it, and it'll be good to have another exam done.